From South Padre Island to Rio Grande City, this is Local 23 News Today.
Buenos dias, Valley. I'm Brenda Matuti. Thanks for starting your morning with us here on Local 23 Today.
I'm Sydney Gray. It is Wednesday, April 28th. President Joe Biden will give his first address to a joint session of Congress tonight, where he plans to outline his next major legislative move.
DC's Jesse Tenor joins us live from Washington to share what could be included in the $1 trillion package focused on childcare and education. Good morning, Jesse.
Yeah, good morning, Brenda and Sydney. President Biden has sat through many of these speeches during his 36 years in the Senate and then 8 years as vice president. Now that it's his turn, though, Democrats and Republicans have different expectations.
We have begun in a very good way.
Democrats make the case that Americans are better off now that their party controls the White House and Congress.
Delivering shots in arms, money in pockets, people in jobs, children in schools, and so much more.
Michigan Congresswoman Debbie Dingell celebrates the accomplishments of President Biden's first major legislative win. And Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer looks ahead to possibly the next one, an infrastructure package or a second plan the president will unveil tonight that includes paid family leave and free preschool and community college.
As big a bold a plan as we can get, we're going to get.
But Republicans like Louisiana Senator John Kennedy remain united in their opposition against President Biden's proposals and the tax increases he's floated to pay for them.
He clearly believes that he can tax, spend, and regulate our country into prosperity.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell argues the president ran as a moderate calling for unity, but has not governed that way.
The Biden bait and switch.
White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says President Biden will also focus his address around police reform, immigration, and gun safety.
He certainly recognizes the important opportunity that this offers.
South Carolina Senator Tim Scott will give the Republican rebuttal.
An excellent outline of what our party believes ought to be the direction of the country.
And lawmakers say they do feel safe attending tonight's address in person following January's deadly insurrection at the Capitol. Psaki says that right before his speech, the president will be meeting with staff members who were there at the time. Live in Washington, I'm Jesse Tenor.
All right, thanks so much, Jesse. Senator John Cornyn is urging the president to outline his plan on how his administration plans to handle the surge in migrant crossings during today's address. This comes as members of the GOP, including Cornyn, have been pressuring the Biden administration to make changes at the border that would help slow the amount of migrant crossings.
The crisis at the southern border is real, it's big, and it's growing. In an effort to downplay the seriousness of the border crisis or to divert attention from it altogether, the administration has spent literally no time talking about it.
Cornyn also discussed the Bipartisan Border Solutions Act, a bill lawmakers say is meant to address the most urgent needs on immigration. The bill has been co-sponsored by Democratic Arizona Senator Kristen Sinema.
We expect to see a smaller number of top government officials at tonight's address, and that means one traditional precaution won't be necessary. White House officials confirm there will be no designated survivor from the president's cabinet during tonight's address. Typically, one official is kept in a safe location to ensure continuity of the government in the case of a tragedy. But due to the pandemic and its precautions, only 200 people will be allowed in the House chamber tonight. Chief Justice John Roberts alone will represent the Supreme Court. Continuing our coverage back here at home, if you're fully vaccinated against COVID-19, CDC officials say you no longer have to wear that face mask during small outdoor gatherings.
But as Local 23 Xochitl Lagunas explains, even as restrictions ease up, there are local health officials still urging you to take precautions to slow the spread of COVID. Good morning, Xochitl.
Good morning. Yes, being fully vaccinated from COVID-19 gives you a high level of protection, but that might not be the case for those around you. Cameron County Health Authority Dr. James Castillo considers the new CDC guidance a step in the right direction. He says it's important for people to remember that the virus is still here. That's why he encourages everyone, regardless of vaccination status, to wear a mask because some people have underlying health conditions.
If that person's at high risk of severe COVID, you may not know that. You may not know they're on chemotherapy. You may not know they take immunosuppressing medications. So if it's a stranger and you don't know them, then yeah, that's one reason just to be courteous about it.
Castillo says the easing of mask restrictions is due to an increase in vaccinated people and a decrease in COVID cases. He says the ultimate goal is for a majority of the population to be vaccinated. Coming up in the next half hour, we will explain an updated COVID-19 risk guidance chart from the CDC. Putting local first, Xochitl Lagunas.
All right, thank you so much, Sochi. Well, as hesitancy around getting the COVID vaccine persists, we wanted to know why people here in the Valley aren't getting that vaccine. So we took questions from locals to the Hidalgo County Health Authority to get answers. One woman says her husband had concerns about getting the vaccine and then getting sick. Others had specific questions about the vaccine causing infertility because of a protein found in the virus and vaccine, which could be detrimental to pregnancy.
And it would seem extremely unlikely as what you're receiving in the vaccine is a recipe, an RNA recipe for the corona protein, which has absolutely nothing to do with the protein of a human being, much less the protein of a human being's uterus.
Hidalgo County Health Authority Dr. Ivan Melendez says although we have a short history of the vaccine, it's impossible to know long-term effects of any treatment.
There's a vaccine clinic happening today in Alton, and officials say on top of your vaccine, they'll be handing out a morning treat. Hidalgo County officials will be administering 500 doses of the Pfizer vaccine. Once you get your shot, you can pick up a free breakfast taco. The location and times for that clinic are right there on your screen. You will need to pre-register. You can find a link to do that on our website, valleycentral.com. Make sure to bring a valid U.S. or Mexico ID.
Alrighty, it is 6:06 this morning. Not Freddie. Freddie's out today. Chris Ramirez is in for Freddie today. Chris, what can we expect on this Wednesday?
Yeah, well, relatively breezy conditions across the valley for today. Right now, those temperatures are in the 70s, but here's a look out of the DHR Health Cam in Edinburg, seeing a little bit more cloud cover off towards the west. Those temperatures, 78 in Harlingen, 78 in McAllen, or 78 in Brownsville. So we are expecting those windy conditions to last throughout the rest of this afternoon. We could see some gusts up to 40 miles an hour, but for the next 5 hours, expecting those temperatures to remain in the 70s through 9 a.m. and then eventually warming up to in the 80s going into 10, 11 o'clock this morning. Sydney.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. This morning, investigators are trying to find out what led to the death of a Florida man who was found on Boca Chica Beach. Cameron County Sheriff Eric Garza posted on Twitter that investigators found the 57-year-old inside a Sprinter van by the jetties yesterday morning. We'll bring you more information on this investigation as it becomes available.
This morning, a man is recovering in the hospital after he was found shot in the parking lot of a local Burger King. Harlingen EMS was flagged down near South 77 Sunshine Strip to help the man. Harlingen police say the shooting may have started at a home near Greenway Street in Harlingen. Investigators are looking for a possible motive. The condition of the man in the hospital is unknown at this time. Coming up, we're learning new details about the lobbyist who is accused of drugging a Texas Capitol staffer and when lawmakers say they expect to see changes start being made at the Capitol.